Let me first say what a pleasure and honor it is to receive this award, and all the more so from Mr. Petroda, a global legend, and if I may say so, a long time, in fact, for a few decades, a dear friend. So thank you. I also want to thank Maxell Foundation, particularly Mr. Nitin Poddar, Mr. Ketkar, and all those associated with it for allowing me to have this honor today to receive this award. This is a lifetime award is of course a signal that means you've done it and gone now. So that I finished some time ago, but that's fine. But this is an award which I will greatly cherish. And behind this, while thanking the Maxell Foundation, I want to also acknowledge all those who have helped me, particularly my colleagues of many years and my mentors, and of course my family, my parents, my wife particularly, my sister and brothers, one of whom is here today. So to all of them, my deep appreciation for support and constant encouragement. My congratulations to all the winners, and I'm proud to be in their company, such excellent people with great work. I was reading about it, familiar with some of it, but it's great to know that. And again, Maxell Foundation, my appreciation for recognizing, showcasing and highlighting this kind of work which needs to be showcased and highlighted. As Nitin requested, I want to say a few words about Pune, technology, IT, and the broader vision. I'm very conscious that I feel somewhat in the state of, I can just imagine what the opening batsman or the number 3 batsman will be feeling in a test match, when actually everybody is waiting for them to get out so they can watch Virat Kohli. And that of course is Sam. I know we are all waiting to hear Sam. So let me make sure the wicket falls soon. If not hit wicket, then get me out soon. But I must use this opportunity to share a few thoughts and comments. Very broadly, just 2 or 3 basic points which I want to pick up, and not necessarily top priorities, not necessarily the most important ones, just picking up something, one of whom is from what Nitin mentioned and what he and I were talking about earlier in the day. But first I want to start with a broader one and just make a comment on that, on which Sam might or might not speak much more, the changing environment. Today we talk of the so-called Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is all about completely new things: artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D manufacturing, big data analysis. Some of them are big words, many of you would have read of them, some of you may actually be working in those areas, but it's very true that they are truly transforming the world. And the world of today, as you just heard Mr. Haribhakti so well, is so different from the world of just 5 years ago, and be sure that the world of 5 years from now will be even more different than the world as it is today. So we're living in vastly changing times. That's the context in which we've got to look at this. And it's in this context that just a few comments on 2 other things which were there. One of them, and I can't but say this because I'm a bit of a movie fan also, and though I haven't seen Bahubali, Nitin mentioned it, I hope he's seen it. But I also want to mention Avatar, where a lot of work, most of you may have seen Avatar, was done out of India. Many of the special effects and games and so on. So, as somebody who's proud of what's happening in India, it's great. And Bahubali certainly, from what I'm told, meets world standards technologically. But yes, it's a moot question as to why in this state and this city, which is such a center of creativity, long known for intellectual creativity, whether it's theatre or writing, whether it's music, why is it that in this place where technology also has flowered so well, not just IT, but all kinds of technology, including manufacturing, why is it that here, given this natural confluence of creativity and technology, which is what movies is all about, or even more so, animation, gaming, and gaming today, the big games are far, far bigger than the big super hit movies. They make more money than a movie. I don't know how many of you know that. A popular game today makes billions of dollars. So why is it that in this center of creativity and technology, which already has so much IT capability, which has all the people and the educational institutions, which is next to Mumbai, which is been traditionally the movie center, the center for creating things like advertising and a lot of other creative work from there, why is it that this city has not become what it could have become and what it may become yet? And just a few words on that in the end. But partly related that may be an important part also, which is knowledge. And again, this city has been long recognized for education, in fact, often called Oxford of the East. And it's increasingly becoming also a hub for research. You see research labs here, starting with government labs of all kinds, but you see research laboratories now coming up more and more, even private sector research work going on here in a big way. So you see knowledge dissemination, which is education, you see knowledge creation, which is from the laboratories. And I think we have now to begin to look at the next stage. We are really looking at how this knowledge gets into application, knowledge application, which is in industry. And some of that has happened, but this is again something else which we want to look at, that how does this loop happen and how do you make sure that in the world of tomorrow, which I mentioned the context, this not just continues, but grows hugely, because that is critical. And that word is all about not just doing what you were doing, but it's about innovating. And this is something which is critical. I've seen this time and again. I keep telling friends from the IT industry who recognize it well enough but are not moving fast enough, in my estimation, that the magic formula, the mantra of the Indian IT industry success was cheaper, better, and quicker. The cheaper was very important first, but it became less and less important. The better in terms of quality became important and continues to be important. And quicker because we have the talent base, the huge numbers that few other countries have. And a combination of these three, the magic mantra as I call it, no other country has so far. And that is why we have more than half the world's total market for work done outside their own country. More than half, more than all the other countries put together. But tomorrow is not just about cheaper, better and quicker. Tomorrow is going to need something else. They're going to say cheaper, better, quicker is fine, but also give me something that is different. And different is all about innovation. It's what can you do something that is distinctly new and distinctly different. And innovation, therefore, is going to be the key to that. And that's something else which we might want to look at when we think of India, and when you bring that down and drill it down to saying, where in India? And I would think that given what I mentioned earlier, it should be, by all accounts, Pune. Why not? It has all the capabilities. It has, as I said, the knowledge-centric hub, not just of knowledge dissemination, which is education, but also of knowledge creation, which is laboratories and research, and also of knowledge application, which is a huge industry in various sectors, not just one sector. So I would look at Pune as having the potential in future to innovate. And it's innovation that then drives things like special effects, which you talked about of the movies, drives things like gaming, as a combination of creativity and technology, which you see in all these sectors, which we need to look at. So I would say that the target for Pune, looking ahead, certainly 10 years, but even 5 years, should be that can this be the hub for the future for innovation, and broader than that, for what I would say 3 I's. You know, I've often talked of India's advantage, and I use abroad everywhere, that India's 3D advantage, particularly over China. The 3Ds are democracy, diversity, and demographics, which is a young population. But I think the 3 I's are going to be more important as we move to the future. 3Ds will continue to be important, but again, hopefully, many countries will get to the 3D stage. Diversity, they may not, and that's going to be our distinctive advantage as long as we can retain it. I hope we retain it. India, remember, is always India cultures, not an Indian culture to me. It's always in the plural. We are diverse, which is why we can be innovative. But it's going to be about 3 I's. It's about innovation, but before that it's about ideas, and after that it's about invention. So ideas, innovation, and invention. This is going to be the future. And to come back to what Nitin requested, or Compere said, can talk a bit about Pune. I would say that if you put these together and then look at what is it that Pune can be distinctive in, and what is it that Pune should aspire to do, and where is it that Pune can have a special advantage over other cities, be it Bangalore or Hyderabad or even Bombay next door. And I think it is in this, it is in the 3 I stage that Pune can be distinctive and different. To do that, lots of things it can do, but to start with, I would say just one thing which comes from my favorite topic, which is innovation. And that is that when you think of innovation, you have to think of thinking differently. That's what innovation is about. In fact, I just finished a book called Thinking Differently, as in crooked mind. So I think we need to see how do you develop crooked minds in the nice way, crooked in a nice way. So how do you develop crooked minds in Pune? I have some thoughts and suggestions, but I leave it for you to digest and think over. And for those who influence and run policy here, both at the country level or at the state and level and in Pune itself, I would say give some thought to this, saying how can you make Pune the hub of ideas, innovation and invention? And to do that, how do you make sure that you have enough ideas flowing, enough innovation flowing? How do you have enough crooked minds? Thank you.
Maxell.